songs, poems. Next thing you know, there'll be an ode to Hillary Clinton. Well, nice to be with you. We just had a news conference on Pennsylvania's ballot access laws, which are quite clearly now the worst in the nation. As Carl Romanelli said earlier, you have to bet your house to run for office in Pennsylvania. And there's a value to putting the corrupt system under pressure. As long as the system is not challenged, its corruption will not be visible. It's only when it's provoked that the fangs come out, the ugliness, the bile, and what we should now call it, the political bigotry. This is what it is. This is not just politics as usual, throwing candidates off the ballot in all kinds of ways, using partisan political judges who misread the law, using the legislators to write laws that are rigged against competition. The two-party elected dictatorship is getting worse by the year. Almost everything the Greens accused the two parties of in the year 2000 is an understatement. The Republicans ravage the country, and the Democrats don't stop them. There's not much virtue in that latter position. So we're in this war quagmire in Iraq, which is unconstitutional, illegal, a violation of our treaties, like the Geneva Convention, a war that was launched against the best judgment of many retired generals, admirals, diplomatic officials, intelligence people in both administrations prior to George W. Bush's. This is the first war that's been opposed by the military, diplomatic, and intelligence establishment. And yet, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney plunged us into this war on a platform of lies, deceptions, cover-ups, repeated again and again, day after day, month after month, after they were exposed and documented by the most established media and whistleblowers inside the Bush administration, among others. This is a recidivist, criminal regime that should be removed and convicted in the House and in the Senate. These are not metaphors or adjectives. In one ground of impeachment after another, an impartial tribunal would find Bush and Cheney guilty. If they were in the courts of law under the tort system, they would be found guilty of criminal negligence for repeatedly, month after month after month, leaving U.S. soldiers without adequate armor and adequate cover for their Humvees. Under the Geneva Convention, they would be tried as criminals for the slaughter and the death of 600,000 to 700,000 Iraqi civilians in Iraq, which the Pentagon has reduced in its official figures to 60 to 70,000. I tell you, Iraqi's skin must be made of steel and other alloys. 60 to 70,000. They don't have the decency to even count the civilian deaths. Massacres. The situation in Iraq, brought upon by Bush and Cheney and permitted by the Democrats, is now worse in almost all respects than under Saddam. Less drinking water, less health care, less security in the streets. Can you imagine? Bush has turned in a performance worse than Saddam. Saddam said there were no weapons of mass destruction. Bush said they were. Saddam told the truth, and Bush lied. I mean, what kind of president is it What kind of president is it that comes in behind a brutal dictator like Saddam Hussein? That's how bad it is.